All right, so we got fix and flick strategies, and let's talk about what you're gonna do from a pay strategy. So what are some things that we can do to pay? Like, what do you guys know about? What have you heard about that are pay strategies?
You can do cold calling.
So you can do postcards, you can do cold calling. What else?
Advertise on Facebook.
Sure. Facebook for sellers.
PPC,
Yep. What else?
texting,
What else?
Billboards.
Okay. So I would think these are most of your strategies. You got postcards, cold calling, Facebook. We talked about network marketing up top, texting, PPC, billboards. This is my opinion. If you're a newbie, a billboard's not the right angle for you. Billboards are branding a lot more than they are marketing. It's completely and totally non-targeted. But there are some things you could think about. TV. It's very expensive, but you can do it, or you can also use YouTube. And I can tell you about both of those too. So there's a difference between having a cultivated list and having people kind of find you. If I was gonna say, where do people find you? On that list, what would you say people can find you?
PPC,
PPC? What else? I would say YouTube and TV, right? Mm-hmm. So PPC, YouTube, and TV. All right, and then over here, let's go, you find them. And it's basically, I would say, postcards, Facebook for sellers, or text, right? Do you guys agree?
Cold calling.
Cold call too. Yeah, so cold call's up there too. You find them. What's the important thing about finding them? What would you say?
they're not reaching out to everybody else
Sure.
in addition to me.
So what do you need to have in order to find these people? You need a list.
Yeah, it needs to be people who own a house. It needs to be people who might want to sell that house.
It's a motivated seller.
Yeah.
So the difference between a newbie and a pro is not necessarily the marketing efforts, but it's who you're reaching out to. So this is harder. It's much harder, but it's cheaper. This is easier, but it's more expensive. It just is. So let's start with this. You know, we're well into the 21st century at this point. When I got into this business, it was all about postcards. And postcards worked because they were cheap and they were easy, and you basically went to a couple of different places. Postcards lost their effectiveness because everybody taught it and everybody did it. But it does still work. Cold calling is great, but if you're calling the wrong people, it doesn't work. I have found Facebook marketing for sellers to be ineffective. It works in some markets. It doesn't work great here. We don't do a ton of it. Texting kind of fits with the rest of this. All right, so if you look at these two different boards, right? This is where you have to go hustle and this is where you have to pay. To summarize, these are cheaper, these are more expensive, these are hard to find because you need to know who you're looking for.